Florida has had a bunch of insurance companies come out and say we are no longer covering your home because of hurricanes.
This is not a joke. We are now sitting 5 months, maybe 6, since seeing all of these home insurance companies back out of covering states like Florida, Louisiana, and all up the East Coast. And we now see a once in a millennia storm that just happens to hit in this area.
So apparently, this Porsche was brought into the neighborhood before the floods. Nobody knows who it belongs to. The license plate is missing, and it got flooded out. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I smell insurance fraud.
I promised this would be my last video on the hurricane. I just kind of got shocked because of the situation, because it's just really weird to me how insurance companies are actually canceling people's insurance policies. Like, you know that the hurricane just happened, and this is the time where they decided to just start canceling people's policy right after the flood, when people's houses have been destroyed and damaged, and it's like it's right now. So the whole thing, it's like it's really horrible. And as you all know, a lot of conversation surrounding this is people being saying like, oh, this should be very illegal because during a flood you are not allowed to get an insurance. So why would they let it just happen? Like, oh, they can cancel the insurance policy. And then a lot of people are really not knowledgeable when it comes to like the whole insurance thing. So some do not even know that, you know, there are different policies. You need to read your contract and see, are you getting the one for flood? Like, you need to, you know, get your insurance for flood and this and that and that. So most people do not really know those things, and some of them are actually having to find out now. Like, it could be first-time home owners, and it's like most people do not know. We're going to be checking out these videos, and you guys will see what I'm saying. But before we get right into this video, I want to give a very big shout out to Joseph for sending me a $30 Cash App. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Owens Daniels for sending me a $5 Cash App. Thank you all so much, and thank you so much for your wishes. Please, before we get right into this video, make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Let's get right into it.
1 week after Hurricane Helene, my home insurance policy decided to drop any sort of hurricane or flood coverage, and also like a few days before a new hurricane coming through. So that means not just ocean water, we're talking about rainwater. So if it is a flash flood and rainwater gets in our home, they're saying, forget it, we're not covering it. If rainwater somehow breaks through the roof, it then creates a bubble in our ceiling, they're not covering it. I think it's going to be nearly impossible for us to try to get a new plan implemented before the storm on Wednesday that comes through. But in reality, like, this is happening to so many people. I'm telling them about how we got dropped our flood coverage. And I know that the insurance companies are inundated with claims right now, and they're not prioritizing, obviously, rewriting new plans. We do have a broker we go through, and so we're going to reach out to them, but I highly doubt that we're able to get coverage before this new storm comes through. But yeah, I just thought I'd share with what is going on, because apparently insurance companies can just do that whenever they want, and our government does nothing about it.
Good Sunday morning, TikTok. I just wanted to hop on and share something freaking ridiculously funny with you people about insurance and Hurricane Helene and all that, whatever. So the insurance, we finally heard from the insurance site adjuster, ground adjuster, whoever the heck he is, yesterday. And we have so much damage done to structures and property that we know are going to have to be replaced. So this joker calls and he's like, well, we're only going to give you this much for this and this much for that. And I'm figuring, you know, $200 for this and $300 for that. Then after depreciation, you know, it goes from being $20,000 to being like $16,000. We have roof damage. We have siding damage. I have a $30,000 bill for removing the trees from my yard. There were 5 trees that the insurance covered, but they're giving me like $1,200 for one and $600 for the other 4 or something. He knew that a crane was going to have to be brought out to remove one of the trees. He didn't even include anything with the crane in his estimate. The siding on the house, we have 2 different places on the back of the house that there's holes in the siding. He gave me, I don't know, a couple $100 repairing my screened-in porch that, I don't know if he doesn't realize it, but when you do a screened-in porch, it's one big piece of screen. It's not pitched and patched. So I got like, I don't know, $500 to repair my screened-in porch. My back deck is pretty busted up, and I got like $200 for it. The play set that was damaged, we gave them about an $1,800 estimate from where you purchase them new, and the price, it was the closest thing I could find to what we had. And so with depreciation, they gave us $500 for a $1,700 play set. And the roof is a whole nother story. Now, the insurance adjuster gave us bare minimal for the roof damage. And he said, well, it's because we couldn't see it because the tree was on it. So blah, 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 blah. So we got like, I don't know, I'd have to look back at the estimate. I don't know, a couple $1,000 at the most. I don't even think it was that much to repair the roof. And the roofing company saying the whole roof needs to be replaced from tree damage and wind damage. This is funny, y'all. It's so freaking funny. It's the insurance companies are totally doing everything they can to get out of paying the claims that they need to be paying. Well, I plan on getting all my work done, and I plan on sending in the receipts. And they can pay me, or I'll deal with the insurance commission about it, because I am that person. We take care of our property. You know, this is the first time we've ever filed a homeowner's claim, and it's something that's totally outside of our control. It's not like we try to file everything that goes wrong in our house and in our yard and in our property on our homeowners, because we don't do that. So it's the first time that we've ever had to file a claim, and this is how they're trying to treat us. Like I said, $16,500, I think, is what they're saying they're going to pay us for repairs, when just the tree part alone was $30,000. They said they're going to send another tree company out to look and see what they did, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 to make sure that it's a fair price. And if they decide that it's a fair price, or if, you know, they need to go up on the estimate, they'll send me a supplement, blah, 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 blah. It's just BS. And also, I did submit pictures this morning of the driveway where the crane messed up the driveway. And we'll see what they do with that. I feel like they're responsible for it. The crane company noted that there were some cracks in the driveway that could cause issues. And I've gone from having a few cracks to having what appears to be a gravel driveway. It's just the craziest thing. So we'll see. This battle's far from over, and they've really picked the wrong one, because I will fight for getting my property back to where it was before the storm. You know, a lot of people probably don't fight them, and that's why they try to lowball people. But this girl's gonna get my yard back in the condition that it was before the hurricane. I guess less 5 or 6 trees that nothing can be done about, but we will replant trees, but it just won't be our beautiful big white oak trees anymore. Yeah, but it's crazy. $30,000 tree bill, $16,000 initial check. It's craziness, madness.
People think that when you have insurance after a hurricane, you just like get to build a new house. That's what people keep commenting to me, like, oh, you can just go build a new house with your insurance. So I would really like for you to explain how insurance works.
Okay, so start off by substituting the word insurance for gotcha. Okay, let's start there. Because what people think and what it is a gotcha. Unfortunately, with windstorm insurance and flood insurance, they're two separate animals. And the lines between them sometimes get blurred depending on the nature of the storm, but you can get flood insurance only, not have windstorm, and you can have windstorm and not have flood, but if you have a mortgage, you have to get both. You know, if you own your home free and clear, you don't have to get any insurance. Not smart, at least get liability, but you don't have to get any. If you have a mortgage, you have to have windstorm and flood.
Which most people have a mortgage.
Most people have a mortgage,
yeah.
Yeah. So let's just say windstorm and flood are mandatory. Now, the problem with windstorm is the chances of your house being damaged by a hurricane, i.e. a windstorm, are about the same as a tornado going through your neighborhood. The wind field in a hurricane is, let's say, 20, 30 miles wide, and you have to be right in the middle of the worst winds to get severe windstorm damage, or maybe
Which
tree.
would basically like torpedo your whole house.
Yeah, or a tree falls on your house and crushes it. you know, but
like
windstorm,
really crushes it,
yeah.
not just like a little part of your house.
Well, here's the really part. So windstorm generally carries a pretty high deductible. And what a lot of people don't realize is that deductible is based on the replacement value of your house. So let's say it cost $800,000 to replace your house. That's what your policy says your structure is worth. That $10,000 deductible on the windstorm, which is pretty standard, you've got to have $80,000 worth of damage before the insurance company is even going to pay a penny. So not only do you have to live in like the eye of a tornado, but you have to pay 80 grand to benefit from your windstorm policy.
So most people in our area will not benefit from any of this windstorm damage.
Unless, well, if you think paying 80 grand is benefiting, then you're living in kind of like an alternate universe, because I think that in and of itself is a huge scam. Because they complain about, oh, we can't make any money insuring properties in Florida, but 99% of the properties they insure, no one's going to get to their deductible and they don't have to pay out a dime. So I just like to kind of know where the money's going at this point, because we've been paying for years and years and years, and we certainly can't see any of that. Now, flood insurance is actually a much better deal, because
if you are an American, you should be really freaking angry about what's happening in the Carolinas and in Florida right now. One of the saddest freaking things, and what I've been barking about on here and with our local legislation for the last 2 years, is that so many Americans in those areas that were just decimated, flooded, houses gone, property lines gone, they're waking up to the harsh reality that what they thought they had in terms of their homeowners insurance, they actually don't have. So many Americans bought homes, sometimes first-time home buyers, sometimes not, but as part of their mortgages, they were required to have homeowners insurance. And what is not required is flood insurance. And so many Americans don't have flood insurance, and their properties are not covered. The vast majority of people that have been impacted by Hurricane Helene don't have insurance to cover their homes that are decimated. And the devastating part about this, and the part that makes me so mother trucking angry, is that the insurance industry is so freaking broken, and people are spending their bottom dollars to pay for homeowners insurance, like $10,000, $20,000 to pay for homeowners insurance. So broken. But the saddest thing is that people think that they're insured and they're not. Now there's the other side of this, people that bought their homes outright, paid cash, and don't need to carry insurance, and those people that have dropped their insurance, rude, horrible awakening for those people. But a major misconception, and you can tell I'm heated about this, it makes me so freaking angry. Huge misconception is that if your home floods, that your insurance will cover it, and that is not true. It's just devastating. If this impacted you, I'm angry for you. I'm calling everybody that I can possibly think of on the government side. We did it once before, we'll do it again. Insurance reform must happen. It must happen. We are in a housing crisis. Climate change, blah, 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 whatever. That doesn't change the fact that insurance companies and our government's inability to control the absolute wild west that is the homeowners insurance market is insane. Anyway, I'm trying to do something about it, and I feel for you if you were impacted by this.
The ways to make money and be extremely rich, majority of the time, it is an unethical way. It is a way that is not fair. It is a method that is going to hurt a lot of people. It's going to sabotage people's lives. It's going to make a lot of people hurt. Like, it's going to destroy people's life entirely. Like, it will do that. It will trample on a lot of people that are not capable, do not have the ability to help themselves. So that is why you see that a lot of these situations where like it should be illegal, this is so unfair. Most of the time, the ways that these people make their money is not ethical at all. It is not an honest way. It is a wicked way that is just focused on profit and have no sympathy and mercy for people. And it is crazy and hurtful, because look at this situation, like people have been paying you money into this thing. And it's like when it comes to the time where you're supposed to cover for them, like that's the reason why people are paying this insurance. No, you're not going to do it. You don't want to do it. And if you even do, they want to increase it on you. Your insurance is just going to go. is gonna go up. And then it's like, wait, were you hoping that I just keep paying you, and then when I need you for what I've been paying you, you don't want to do nothing? Like, you just want to keep hoarding my money. When I send it to you, you just take it. Like, that's just it. That's all. Like, please don't ever need me to do anything for you.
I know that a lot of you guys are going to get affected by this hurricane, so I need you to listen very carefully, because this one word, this one mistake can cause your entire insurance claim to be denied. So this is extremely important. Make sure you save this video and send it to anyone that you think would be affected by the hurricane, so that they can have it as a record when it's time to call the insurance company. If your house gets any kind of water damage, whether it's because water came in or the roof got messed up or there was a leak or whatever the case may be, you cannot say that it was a flood, okay? This is covered under flood insurance, and many people do not have flood insurance. So the minute you say the word flood, okay? If you say the word flood, your insurance claim will get denied. Do not do it. I have seen so many insurance companies rip people off and deny entire claims because they make mistakes and say things like flood. Okay, this is really important. I need you guys to really listen to me, okay? It's almost like you should hire an attorney to just give you the exact right verbiage to say. As a previous insurance worker and now a broker and a realtor, I see it happen time and time again where people make mistakes saying things like, my house was flooded, water came in, things were flooded, and they immediately will mark it down as a flood and not pay it out, okay? Remember, insurance is a word game. So if you say the wrong word, it will deny your claim. So reach out to me, comment, message me if you have any questions on what you should be doing correctly. Just please protect yourself, protect your home, and make sure that these insurance companies do not get away with not paying your claim. Stay safe, and God bless you guys.
Well, ma'am, I'm not sure who provided you that information. If they were a reliable source, I don't know. But what I can explain to you, it doesn't matter if you say it was hurricane wind, hurricane water, or if it was a flood. The bottom line is, unfortunately, you don't have comprehensive coverage on your policy, and I really do apologize, that you're going through the situation, but there isn't anything that I can do for you, ma'am. You have liability insurance only. Again, ma'am, I don't know where you're getting this information from. Okay, no matter what this post is saying on the internet, it does not matter how you say what happened. It's all going to fall, ma'am, whether it was hurricane wind, whether it was a tornado, rain, flood, someone broke into your car, any of those situations, you don't have comprehensive coverage on the policy. That's all I'm trying to explain to you. I'm not trying to no, ma'am, I'm not trying to deny your claim just because you're saying it was because I feel like it was a flood. That's not what I'm doing, ma'am. It does not matter if it was flood or hurricane wind. You don't have comprehensive coverage on the policy, so there is no coverage. Ma'am, well, we're not going to look at your car because you don't have that coverage. It's not because we don't want to. You don't have the coverage. Ma'am, you don't have the coverage that's necessary, okay? The most that I could do for you, again, I can send you a denial letter as soon as possible, and you can file for assistance with FEMA. But okay, ma'am, and I understand this is a brand new car. I understand. And no, ma'am, I really do feel bad for your situation and everything that you're going through, but unfortunately, I have a job to do, ma'am, and there's nothing that I can do for you. Right, I can't provide you coverage that you don't have. Okay. Yes, you can apply for assistance with FEMA. Have you already applied for assistance with FEMA, ma'am? Okay, so how do you know they're going to deny you if you haven't applied for coverage? But I mean, ma'am, even if they do deny you, again, there isn't anything that I can do for you at this time. The claimant is denied. You don't have the coverage. I do apologize. That is correct, ma'am. There isn't anything else that I could do for you. No, ma'am. There isn't anything that I can do. Correct. It does not matter how you word the situation, whether it was hurricane winds, tornado, rain from the hurricane. It doesn't matter how you word it. You still have to have comprehensive coverage for that situation, and you don't have that coverage on your policy. Okay. Okay. I truly hope things get better for you, ma'am. You're welcome. You have a good weekend. Thank you. Y'all gotta stop listening to the internet. Y'all gotta stop listening to Facebook or whoever y'all listening to that's spreading false information. She literally came on talking about some, they said you was gonna say that. They said you was gonna just deny my claim. Yeah, they told me not to say flood. What? They told me to say it was hurricane wind and hurricane water. What? For the car? It's still comprehensive. You still have to have comprehensive no matter what. No matter if it was wind, flood, rain, sleet, hail or snow. It don't matter. You have to have comprehensive coverage. Like, what? We can't do nothing for you. Tell about y'all ain't gonna come look at it. Look at it for what? You already sent pictures? I seen the water. And I still can't do nothing for you. Like, I really feel bad. But we have to be adults in a situation. You live and you learn. It's called life. You live and you learn. It's called life. I can't do anything for you. I apologize. You have to file a claim with FEMA. And then it's, oh, they said FEMA ain't even approving no claims. Did you even try? What do you mean they said FEMA not approving no claims? Like, you didn't even attempt. But instead you on the phone arguing with me. I cannot. Listen, vacation starts tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'm going to be in the middle of the ocean with the hurricanes.
There should be laws set up to help protect people from this, but like that only happens in a situation where the government and the laws that are created are actually there to help protect you and be there for you, for the people. But in a situation where it is not, this is what you get: a government that is set up to always back up and protect businesses like this. Yeah, so they will be protected while you will be left vulnerable there just sitting, regardless of who you choose.
As a catastrophic insurance adjuster, let me tell you what happens when a storm like Hurricane Helen comes into Florida. I've been responding to these storms for over a decade, and there is a strong consistency to all of them. When these storms hit, the insurance companies get tens of thousands of claims that come in overnight, and they simply can't handle them. So what they do is they outsource them to independent firms who then contract adjusters to go out and do the inspecting and do the estimating and all of that stuff. And they send those reports then back to the insurance company. But there's a lot of interesting things that happen before that report gets back to the insurance company. Number one, the company that is contracted to handle the claims has a claim review team that looks over all of those reports. So you would think that the estimates and the reports that the adjuster that went out to the home are getting sent straight to the insurance company, and there's a very smooth transaction there, and that's just not the case. These companies that are contracted to the insurance companies generally get the contract because they will tell them that, they save them money and it's faster time to close the claim and all this kind of stuff. And therefore, there are a lot of guidelines that they have to agree to before the insurance company hands them the contract to then give the claims to their adjusters. And those adjusters have to or are supposed to adhere to those guidelines. The problem is that most of these companies have review teams that they look over the estimates and they nickel and dime everything. They will change estimate items, or they will request change in estimate items, and they will also go through the reporting and they will ask and suggest that wording in the reports gets changed to certain things. Now, I'm not saying that all of these things are nefarious. I'm just saying that not all the time. If you ever wonder why an adjuster comes out to your house and is talking to you and, you know, things go well and he understands what's going on, he understands what needs to be done, and not all the time are they allowed to disclose coverage information. So anytime a storm like this hits, most of the claims end up being flood related, and most of the time people don't have flood insurance. So there's very limited language and there's limited resource for the insurance company to be able to cover those things when water enters in through like a door or a window, as opposed to coming in through like the roof. And these independent adjusters, as they go to these storms, make a killing. They make a killing. So as an independent adjuster, you can usually make like a year's salary in about a month to 3 months. It does not take a whole lot. You're going in and you're doing between 5 and 10 claims a day, depending on how good and how efficient you are. And you get paid per claim. And generally speaking, the pay that you are getting is tiered so that the more intense the estimate is, the more money that you get paid. So oftentimes you go out on a storm and you can make, you know, upwards of $1,000 to $2,000 a claim, and then you're doing how many of those a day? Which is a great income, not going to lie, but it produces a lot of opportunity for people that don't really know what they're doing to get into the business and start adjusting a lot of these claims when they really have no business adjusting these claims. And when you get an influx of claim volume like this, it becomes it's even more of an opportunity, because there's claims that have to get off of these guys' desks, and so they just hand them out to any Tom, Dick, and Harry that's able to hold a pen and take a picture. So it does produce a lot of problems. And not to mention the contractors that come in, the roofing contractors in particular that come in to work these storms. These storms are one of the biggest wealth transfers that I'm aware of. There are companies that will come in and within a couple months, millions of dollars. And it's not, again, it's not nefarious, it's necessary. But just understand, like, as the insurance rates are going up, that money is going directly from the insurance company to the contractors, and these contractors know how to work it. And you also have, you know, public adjusters and attorneys that also get their hand in there, because the insurance companies hate to see the money go, but you know, they change their guidelines and they manipulate those reports to make sure that they're paying out as little as possible, and they're paying out as slow as possible so that they can accrue as much interest on those accounts as they can. So that's why you have public adjusters get involved and attorneys get involved, because these claims just take forever. And when I say forever, literally years, and I know some of you guys already know this, literally takes years for them to initiate a payout. So all that to say, I am not affiliated with any recruiting agency or anything like that, but if you are looking to get into the adjusting business, which I'm not sure that I would recommend, it has changed a lot over the last 14 years that I've been doing this. It has changed a lot. The pay has gone down a lot. But if you are looking to get into it, now is the time because of that volume. They just don't have enough adjusters to handle 10,000 claims that come in tonight. So you can get licensed fairly easy if you can read. And if you know construction, it becomes even easier. And then if you know Xactimate or Symbility, which are estimating platforms, adjusting becomes storytelling mixed with some numbers and estimates. So prayers go out to everyone that's affected. I know this is like terrible that this happens, but I mean, you guys live in like the best state in the country. So the fact that you get storm season a couple times a year, I shouldn't say that. Sincerely though, I do pray that you guys are well and safe. And if you do have problems with your insurance company, don't be afraid to contact a public adjuster. I know that they get a bad rap, but you have to understand like who's in control of the narrative in the media in that bad rap. Like the insurance companies have all the money and the insurance companies do all the advertising. So of course they might get a bad rap, but don't be afraid to hesitate. Don't be afraid to hire a public adjuster or get an attorney involved. Most of the time they work hand in hand anyway, so you're going to find a PA first and then the attorney later. But highly recommended if you are having problems or you end up having problems in dealing with your insurance company as a result of this storm.
This is for all the Florida homeowners who are preparing for the hurricane. If you have a fence like this, let me just share some advice with you. Make sure it's attached to your house with a bracket. A lot of insurers is going to try not to cover your fence that is damaged because of that bracket. It has to have a bracket for it to be considered attached. We went through it the last hurricane and did not get our huge yard fence covered at all because we didn't have a small bracket that cost like $2 from Lowe's or Home Depot. So definitely go get that bracket. Let me go ahead and show you what it looks like. There's different brackets you can use, but this is the one that we are using. So we have one here and we have one on the bottom. Now this is like just $2 each, you guys. Just do that to get your fence covered. It's not that hard, okay? I'm just trying to save you guys a headache from battling the insurance. All right, so hopefully this helps and I'll talk to you guys later.
The government can help but refuse to help and will choose to rather help other countries. That is what is preferable to the government. And then the insurance companies that you have been, paying your money to, you signed a contract with them, they don't want to help you. FEMA doesn't have enough money. And it's like, yeah, so what do you really want people to do? It's really crazy and painful out here, and I feel really bad and sorry for people that are actually going to have to deal with all these things, trying to fight that and going back and forth with this situation. Because when people are complaining that the economy is bad, how do you expect people to have money to deal with their lives right now? Many people will now be sitting down homeless because they're not getting help. It's really sad and painful. But anyways, guys, you guys should let me know what you think about this video. Don't forget to please click the like button. It helps with the algorithm. I appreciate that so much. And subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. I will see you on the next one. Bye. Bye.